up in Vegas is I'm outside right now and I'm in a short sleeve shirt and that's my pool, that's my spa, and it's gorgeous out here. And I came to Vegas because I was that corporate geek nerdy girl, and I was in between projects. Here was the cool thing. When you're a computer consultant and you work with a firm, when you're on the bench, they treat you like an NBA player. You're still getting full pay. You just don't want to hang out there for too long, because an NBA player that sits on the bench for too long ends up not on the team. So you want to get out and play the game. So when you're on the bench, even though you get full pay, it's still a little stressful. That's why you build the relationships. So I was on the bench, and then it was September 11th, 2001. And I called my friend in Florida and I asked her and when I called her, she was frantic. She was like, "Oh my God, I've been trying to reach you and I couldn't get in touch. And what's going on? And I'm so happy you're okay." And I'm like, "What the hell? What's up with you?" Because that day I actually woke up when I was done sleeping, which was something that really wasn't normal for that period of my life, right? And she told me that a plane crashed into the World Trade Centers and one crumbled down. And I remember when she said this to me, it sounded surreal.
Yeah.
It didn't even sound real. And then she said, "Turn on the TV." And I said, "What channel?" Because it was still so weird. And she said, "Every channel, silly." And I turned on the TV, and just as I turned on the TV, I saw I remember thinking, well, now we'll have one World Trade Center, even though the plane was in there and the other one was already gone. And then I remember watching the World Trade Center crumble. Well, what crumbled with that was the city that never sleeps. Well, it stopped. It stopped. New York City stopped. Work stopped. Everything stopped. Well, I was on the bench. Well, from the bench, I went to unemployed. So a month later, matter of fact, less than a month later, in October, they called me up. Now, mind you, during that period of time, there was anthrax. There was shoe bombers. There was every day on TV, there were planes crashing into the World Trade Center. And my prior company called me up and they said, "We have a job for you in Las Vegas. Monday through Friday, you will work at this company, and it's Thursday. Can you be there on Monday?" I said, "Yes." I'm a single parent. I was like, I couldn't even figure out who was going to watch my daughter. Listen, my ex-husband wasn't involved on any level, so that wasn't an option. So I called up my parents after I said yes. I took action first. I was like, I don't want them to call up somebody else. And then Monday through Friday, I flew out to Vegas. And I got to see Vegas as not a party person. It was my first time in Vegas. I got to see Vegas as, hey, this is a place where you can make money. Not like on the plane last night, the pilot called it lost wages. Like in the beginning of the interview, I said 5 things that you shouldn't have problems with. Then you're okay to move to Vegas, right? So when I was out here, I said, wow, this is a place I want to retire. So one of my friend's parents lived out here, and I met her, and she was living a great retired life, because in that world, you had to wait till you were retired. Who wants to start living their life at 65? Oh my gosh, right? But in the world that I was in at that moment of my life, and the people that I had circled myself around in that moment of my life, well, those people retired at 65. Just like we said, if you hang out with a crackhead, you're going to be a crackhead. If I hung out with people who retire at 65, they retire at 65. So I always wanted to come to Vegas. So what I did was I started traveling to Vegas all the time, and I would come here once every 6 weeks after my project was done. And I just got more familiar with Vegas. And I always said every time I would come in that this is the place that I wanted to live. And then things went well, because along the way, and I always said that I wanted to be here. And it was a very short period of time, and now I'm here. And because I use that's called auto-suggestion. If you haven't read Think and Grow Rich, you need to read Think and Grow Rich. This is to the people, because auto-suggestion is the words that you tell yourself. So, but when I said I wanted to be here, I never really said I wanted to retire, because we have to be more specific. I said, this is going to be my home. And when I would leave here, I'd be like, this is my second home. And now this is my home.
Wow.
So that's how I ended up here, because when I knew that I could make money whenever and however I could live anywhere, my choices was Vegas, South Beach, Dallas. I don't even know how Dallas came on the
South
map, but
Beach. No, I don't know how nobody lives there.
right. And and what happened was because I thought about making the move, I decided I needed to look at other areas. But what really ended up happening was I wanted to be in Vegas. I've been wanting to be in Vegas. And I want to thank Mark Zuckerberg, because Mark Zuckerberg reminds me, because I used to post how much I loved Vegas. I used to post that the Las Vegas Athletic Club was my favorite gym of all gyms. And this was when I would come here to travel on a trip, I would get a guest pass to Las Vegas Athletic Club. Well, now I'm a member.
That's
So it's
awesome.
just crazy.